Hello, Bronco fans and football fans alike. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown. This is Friday, February 26th, 2021. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Now, I got quite a few things I'd like to bring in this video. I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible, but there is some very important information. And it's not all about the Broncos. It has to it actually transcends different sports, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start out with the incident that happened on Tuesday in the Los Angeles area. I believe it was Palos Verdes area, and that involved Tiger Woods. Now, I know this is a Broncos breakdown, but I do feel that if I did not bring important topics and important issues that transcends football and transcends the Broncos and actually, captivates people across the country, across the nation, and maybe even around the world, obviously in this situation around the world, that I'd be doing a disservice to you guys. Obviously, you probably already heard the issue or the situation. What happened was a single car accident about 7:30 in the morning, Los Angeles time, and he went across the medium. It was a curve to his right. He was exceeding the speed limit. It was going downhill. So a whole lot of factors that brought into the reason why there was an accident. And fortunately, when he went across the center divide, there was no oncoming traffic. He hit a sign. He hit a tree that the trunk was 8 inches in diameter. He sheared that off completely, rolled over several times, and landed on the side, which was the driver's side. The way he landed was on the driver's side. The vehicle that he was driving in was it was a Genesis. It was one of those cars that was used for the Genesis tournament that concluded on Sunday. He was headed in the LA area somewhere to meet up with Drew Brees, as it was reported. And so he was driving the Genesis vehicle. It was either a 2020 or 2021 model. It was completely crushed. I believe you guys probably saw the pictures. It's completely crushed in the front end and damaged all around. Fortunately, he survived because the interior and the cab of that particular model is designed to protect a person in an accident like this nature. Now, I do have to bring you up as to his injuries. Now, he was injured to his primarily to his right leg. His right leg was severely damaged, broken femur and broken fibula. Several places. It was a compound fracture, so it was sticking out of the skin. When they rushed him to the hospital and they did emergency surgery, they had to put rods in his legs to hold his bones together. They had to lacerate, if it already wasn't, they had to lacerate his leg, and then they had to slice into his leg muscles to relieve the pressure and the swelling of that, because it was putting pressure on his nerves and other parts of his leg. So if that's not enough, he shattered his ankle, his right ankle, and that was put together, or put back together, I should say, by plates and screws. And so he's still in the hospital. He's going to be there for quite a while. He will survive, but the top surgeons in the UCLA Medical Center and elsewhere have said that it would be an absolute beyond miracle if he's able to play at the PGA level again. Now, he may try to come back and play a tournament just to say he could do it. But to be competitive, to actually play at the level that he always has played at age 45, they say it's very, 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 very doubtful. Now you have to understand, guys. With the information that I've gotten regarding him, it's going to take anywhere from 6 to 8 months of healing just to try and walk again normally. They say it's probably going to take up to excess of a year and a half to maybe 2 years to get back into golf shape that he needs to get back into. Now remember, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he's had 5 back surgeries. And when he got into the accident, he was just about, I'm not accurate on this, but I believe it was inside a month from his 5th back surgery. And then he gets in this accident. Now, they haven't mentioned anything about his injury to his back, whether or not this car accident contributed to more pain in his back, or if he suffered anything in his back. They did not mention that. The only thing they mentioned was his leg being broken in several places in a compound fracture, and his ankle being severely broken. Those are the only things that they mentioned in regards to his injuries. So that's all I have in regards to him. But I felt it necessary to bring that because of this being, yes, this is Broncos breakdown. It's about the Denver Broncos, but it's also about other major sports involving players and trades and anything of that nature. So I felt this was the topic I had to bring first and foremost. So that brings you guys up to date from as far as I know and the information that I've gathered earlier today on this Friday. Okay, well, I'll get into some Bronco news now. The Broncos have released Jurrell Casey. Now, he was signed as a free agent a couple of years ago, but he's only played a handful of games. He hasn't really contributed all that much, and by George Payton cutting him loose, the Broncos are going to save nearly $12 million in their salary cap. Now that's huge, and that's huge for a lot of reasons. That's huge because we need to sign Justin Simmons. And if we franchise tag him, that buys us a little bit more time to possibly go after Desean Watson if he's available, or to sign Von Miller and keep him in Denver. So there's a lot of reasons why you get rid of a player like Jurrell Casey. And obviously he wasn't that productive, and he didn't really help out the Broncos that much on the field. So why not cut him loose and save the $12 million? I think that was a great move by George Payton. The issue with Von Miller. Von Miller, the police department and the investigators have turned over their information to the DA, the district attorney in Denver. But that being said, there have been no charges filed as of yet. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be any charges filed. Sure, there could, but it hasn't happened yet. So George Payton right now is in a holding pattern, as well as Von Miller, and as well as his contract, of course, because we don't know if Von Miller is going to be charged. Well, then that puts a kink into what George Payton wants to do to extend his contract or sign him a new contract and keep him in Denver. If the charges are never filed, well, then obviously that opens up the door to keep Von Miller here. So right now, the good news is there hasn't been charges, but the bad news is the DA has the information and they may press charges. So we don't know. I don't know. And I'm giving you all the information that I know, guys. And I've gotten that information from 104.3 The Fan out of Denver. So that's the latest that I have on that. On a similar note, Melvin Gordon, his DUI was supposed to have been, he was in court, I should say, for his DUI back on Wednesday, 2 days ago. But his attorney was able to push it into mid-March. So he's still on the bubble, just like Von Miller. Again, George Payton has to decide, is he going to be found guilty? If he is found guilty and the NFL commissioner decides to suspend him, Well, that means we have to keep Philip Lindsay. And I definitely want to keep Philip Lindsay. But then what do you do with Melvin Gordon? Let's say the commissioner suspends him for 3 games, 4 games. Let's say it's 4 games. That's 1/4 of the season. Do you keep a guy and pay him when he's not playing, he's not being productive? Then when he does come back, is he going to be productive? Because if he's suspended, the commissioner could say he's suspended and cannot participate in Broncos workouts or preseason. So then what? So now you're losing multiple games to him getting into shape, and you're paying him. So George Paton really he's got a major decision when it comes to Miller and Gordon. But I hope he keeps both of them. I hope we keep both of them. But again, you got to look at what's best for the team, what's best for the organization, and what's best for the future. Speaking of the future, let me talk about Desean Watson. Desean Watson met with the Texans head coach on Wednesday, but he's still very, very unhappy with ownership. And in fact, he said he does not want to play for Houston. He's not going to suit up. He's not going to participate in OTAs. He doesn't want anything to do with Houston. Now, given to his credit, yes, he did meet with the head coach, and he did that out of respect, and that's commendable. But then he turns around and says, I'm not playing for you. I'm not playing for Houston. I'm not playing for the Texans. So he's wide open, guys. I heard today on 104.3 The Fan that he's okay with a lot of teams. He's okay with the Jets. He's okay with the Dolphins. He's okay with the 49ers. He's okay with the Broncos. He's okay with a lot of teams. But that's a 180 from what he said a couple weeks or 3 weeks ago, when he said he didn't want to play for the Jets or didn't want to play for Miami. So Watson is about as much up in the air as anybody can be. Now, he has a no-trade clause. So if he has a no-trade clause, Houston's not obligated to trade him. They don't have to trade him. He can demand a trade. He can hold out. He can walk away. But I don't see that happening as far as walking away. What are you going to do, guy? What's the guy going to do? Walk away from millions? Yeah, I don't think so. I sure wouldn't. And Houston Texans ownership and GM is banking that he's not going to walk. My gut feeling is Desean Watson is going to hold out and not play and sit on the sidelines. Or actually, he can't sit on the sidelines if he's not playing or he's holding out. But I don't see anything happening. Like I mentioned in my last video, guys, I don't see anything happening before the draft. I don't see anything happening before OTAs. This may even get pushed into the season. And that's all well and good. That's fine. That's fine. Because I don't want a rash decision by George Paton. Certainly not. So that brings me to my last topic. And obviously, you guys, you see me, I'm wearing the Colorado Avalanche jersey again, but they call it a sweater. But for all intents and purposes, a jersey, but I'll call it a sweater. So I'm wearing the Colorado Avalanche sweater. I've got the hat on, and the flag is in the background. Well, the Avalanche play tonight against the Phoenix Coyotes. And that game starts at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Mountain time. Well, the Avalanche were in second place about a month ago. Well, when they embarrassingly lost to the Minnesota Wild 6-2 on Wednesday, they dropped from 3rd to 6th. They're 4 points behind Las Vegas, and they played the same amount of games of 16 games. They are they're currently, like I said, currently in 6th place. They're behind Phoenix, who's in 4th, who they play tonight, and they're behind Minnesota, who's in 5th. Now, the Avalanche are on a very, very scary drought when it comes to scoring. They've had multiple opportunities. They've had multiple chances to score goals, but they haven't scored. They've hit the post. They've not. They've had wide open guys in front of the net, and they haven't been able to connect on their passes. So their timing's off, which is a little confusing because they have their key players back. They have Landeskog. They've got Nathan McKinnon. They have their key players on their lines. They're back as a full unit since the pandemic quarantine. They've got them back. They've got the full team back. So I don't understand why, unless it's just the fact that they haven't played together in quite a while. That also brings me to the point where the Avalanche are going to be playing quite a few games in a row. They play tonight at 6 o'clock, like I mentioned, Pacific time, 7 Mountain time. And then they also play tomorrow, back-to-back games. And they've had quite a few back-to-back games because of the rescheduling due to the pandemic and due to the rescheduling issues and injuries and things of that nature. So they're trying to make up their games, but they're doing it in back-to-back situations. Francouz is still injured, so he's not there to relieve the pressure from Grubauer. They have a rookie as a backup, but he hasn't even played, and I believe he may be playing tonight. I'm not sure. I will be watching the game, of course, but I don't know if he's starting. If he's starting, I know we need to give Grubauer some time off and some rest. But I don't know. The Phoenix Coyotes are a very, very powerful team. Like I said, they're in fourth place. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in this new revamped scheduling and brackets and all that, only the top 4 teams make the playoffs. So right now, the Avalanche are in 6th place. So they need to make up some ground, and they need to start tonight. But starting a rookie, not a quarterback, sorry guys, starting a rookie goaltender, I don't know. I really, really hope he's up for the challenge. I really hope that the game is not too big for him and the speed's not too fast. But we'll see, guys. But that's it. That's what I have for this Friday. Go Avalanche. Take down the Phoenix Coyotes. We need this win. We need these 2 points. And we need to start getting back on the winning track. That's it, guys. Enjoy the game if you're watching it. Enjoy your weekend. Take some time with your family and just relax and have a good time. I'll talk to you next Friday. Until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll talk to you then. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.